And that does bring us to chapter 43, the cure to the arcane plague. So Theasin, surprise, surprise, doesn't even remember who Volke is. He continues to be just disappointed and perplexed at what Adelgis was doing if he wasn't doing it for personal gain.
I mean, if Theasin didn't just leave Adelgis to die after extracting the leech, Volk wouldn't have had to find a cure. Adelgis wouldn't owe Volk a favor. Like, this is all Theasin's fault.
It really is when it comes down to it. He's the one that put the leech there in the first place. So
Exactly. Frickin' dick.
Yeah. We do also find out that the excavation site is working on unearthing the core of the apoch dragon, so the 13th god creature. Theasin is harvesting the bones, likely going to use them for artifact creation, and we do find out that the decay dust did have that apoch dragon imbued in it, so we do get to see some of the power that the dragon has. Adelgis calls Theasin out on the grotto labyrinth. I'm sure he really feels like, oh, I'm standing up to the man right now. I'm telling him everything he did wrong. Theasin, again, doesn't really care. He saw the personal gain for it, so ends justify the means in his eyes.
Hey, at least Adelgis had the pair to stand up to his dad. Kudos to him.
And yeah, that's a big step.
Like, oh, yeah. I'm very happy that Adelgis stepped up to his dad and actually tried to defend himself and all that and stand up to him. So good job for you, Adelgis.
Theasin does confirm that he is part of the Second Ascension and that they are really trying to usher in a new age of magic to have the god creatures spawn again. Adelgis brings up, hey, we've kind of overthrown like a few different countries, thrown them into turmoil because of this. And Theasin says, he's okay with that because he wasn't directly involved with that. So that doesn't really matter.
I'm so thankful that Shammy did not use the whole, the cliche of gotta break some eggs to make an omelet. Thank you so much.
There were a few ones that could have been thrown in there, but yes, he's saved us the horror.
Hats off to you.
Volk, rightfully so, wants to fight Theasin, but Luther reminds him, hey, we need the cure. You can't really kill that dude. Theasin does agree that he has the cure. He's willing to give it to Volk. All he wants is a vial of blood. Apparently, Theasin is also a vampire.
I wonder why specifically he wants Volk's. I know Theasin says basically what's another vial of blood for the arcane plague, but why Volk's blood?
I was curious as well because I thought about it. The first thought was, oh, he wants blood from somebody who has the plague, but he can get plenty of that from everybody else that's roaming around the island. So I don't know what would make Volk's special compared to Joe Schmo.
I wonder, maybe is it because he's second bonded? That's unique.
It's possible.
That's kind of the only thing I can think of other than him having a nightmare. That's kind of the only two things I can think of that would make Volk special and why he would specifically want a vial of Volk's blood.
It's possible he can imbue something with it. I don't exactly know how that would work, but it's what he uses all the other parts for, so very curious. Theasin does say that the cure to the arcane plague is with the abyssal leech. It has the ability to essentially manipulate magic. Volk is against this process, but it is really their only option. So Adelgis puts Volk to sleep and essentially takes it into his own hands and says, yeah, we're going through with this. While Volk's asleep, we do go into another dream of Zelfree's. He has a Kirin foal with him. Unfortunately, Kirin can only speak with their Arcanist, and they do so telepathically. So they know who they'll bond with essentially from the moment they're born, and will only talk to telepathically that person. Other than that, they're completely silent. So very hard to gain any information from them. We also find out that they their real power, and really the reason that everybody is so enthralled with them, is they allow the Arcanist to bond with a second creature, and then they enhance that creature's magic. So little extra empowering on top. Unfortunately, because of this, they're often hunted for trinkets, but the trinkets never actually reproduce that magical power. And we also find out that there is such a thing as a gold Kirin, which is essentially a Kirin on steroids that can allow the Arcanist to bond with multiple other creatures. So not just one other Eldrin, but multiple, and then empowers all of those Eldrin as well. We also get some reports that the plague is pretty much being ignored. People don't understand how serious it is, so nobody's really going to any length to stop it. And Zelfree is going to go confront the Marshal.
He also makes a comment about using his chimera aura, which we're definitely excited to see what that's about. And with that, that concludes this week's episode of chapters 41 through 45. And next week, we are going to be doing our last section of Plague Arcanist. We're doing 46 through 50. And then after that, we will have the episode of the tabletop game that Zerza, or his name is Chad, sits down and talks with us about his tabletop game for the Frith Chronicles and his ideas on that, Shammy's thoughts on it. In, I believe, a week or two from the airing of this episode in particular, time marked Warlock will be released for audiobook and in the actual book itself. If you are an ARC member or if you order directly from Shammy, she has some absolutely amazing looking metal bookmarks that she will send to you, along with her really, really cool pillar quote boxes. So there's that. And if you want to check out her other works, she's got plenty of other things along with the Frith Chronicles, not even just within the series of this one, but the Nexus games, Half-Life, Empire, Starmark, pretty much any genre you want as far as fantasy goes. She does kind of write a little bit of each.
Eric, Scott, and I want to thank everyone for listening today. We post a new episode every Wednesday morning at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, and 8 Pacific Standard Time. We are on all podcasting platforms and are also on YouTube as well for video. After the additional episode airs, we post chapter-by-chapter videos every day in a smaller, easier-to-digest format. We do want to give a special shout-out to the final member of our team, Dan Mackison, one of the admins for the Frith Chronicles Wiki, link listed below, and doing his best to keep everything running smoothly behind the scenes. If you want to reach out to us, you could email us at frithguildpod@gmail.com or on Facebook or any other social media by searching for Frith Guild Podcast. Just to remind everybody, we have links to everything in the description below on both the podcast and YouTube. Scott, do you have anything else you want to add this week?
It's very close to finishing the fourth book. It's crazy how fast it goes through.
Oh my goodness. And we would be halfway through the series at the end of this one. So we're coming up on 8 months of recording.
Jeez.
And we're about halfway through the series. So we do appreciate everybody for listening on, and we look forward to hearing from you next week. Thank you. Welcome back to the Frith Guild Podcast. I'm your host, Eric. And today we'll be going over chapters 41 through... That was rude.